Got a lot to cover today. As Trump keeps scoring victories and America is witnessing these mass deportations, isn't it fascinating to see how different the Democrats see a common sense response to the illegal immigration crisis? Jen Psaki evidently still has a show on MSNBC. She got demoted, didn't she, guys? I think she's on the weekends now, or maybe I thought I saw a while ago. I don't watch MSNBC. I wouldn't torture myself by watching that network, but I understand that she got demoted a while ago. But she's still around. She's still got a show, evidently. And here she is. This is her talking about the evilness of enforcing immigration laws. I mean, and the bottom line is, you either believe in the rule of law or you don't. Democrats never want to acknowledge the illegality of sneaking into our country. They never want to ever acknowledge it. They pretend it's not. If you sneak in and you take our healthcare services and our educational resources and jobs, as long as you don't, cause any problems. Even Harold Ford yesterday, he's like the reasonable Democrat on the 5, unlike that insufferable Jessica Tarloff. Even Harold Ford yesterday said, 6% of the people we're deporting are criminals, have been convicted of a crime. Now, incidentally, they fact-checked that. He's wrong. It's way higher than that. But he's pretending that it's not against the law to be an illegal immigrant in the first place. It's a sleight of hand the Democrats try, and even people like Harold come up with it. It doesn't matter if 6 or 60% of illegals who are being rounded up and deported are violent criminals. They're illegal in the first place. Go back to your country and do it the right way. Do what millions of Americans, naturalized Americans, have had to do. Do it the right way. Immigrate to this country legally. But I want you to hear this clip from MSNBC. And they're angry at Stephen Miller, who to me is completely reasonable, completely rational. And Jen Psaki says the reasonable response, which is the mass deportation, is saying the evil part, the quiet evil part, out loud.
Trump's big ugly bill, as I like to call it, was signed into law with dramatic flair on Friday. It included $170 billion for immigration enforcement. And we've heard over and over again Republicans and Trump administration officials defend this as saying they're going after the criminals. They're going after the criminals. And we are anti-gaslighting here, so we want to unpack this. But I want to play you something Stephen Miller said about this, which kind of, I think, is quite telling what they're after. Let's play it.
What has it done to our schools? What has it done to our hospitals? What has it done to just traffic in our cities? Every issue that affects our quality of life, Jesse, public safety, drugs, crime, education, healthcare, waiting in the emergency room, are all exacerbated, worsened, and undermined by mass illegal immigration.
He's sort of saying a version of the evil, quiet part out loud there in terms of what he wants to do.
What? The evil, quiet part? Can you play, Christian, can you isolate the Stephen Miller part? She thinks what he said is evil. Is there any dispute that illegals have taken up room in our emergency rooms? Is there any doubt that illegals have taken our resources from American citizens? Is there any doubt that it's against the law to be an illegal immigrant? This is what fascinates me. Jen Psaki sets it up by saying, Trump promised to go after the criminals, as if being an illegal immigrant isn't a crime. Is it against the law to sneak into America without being processed, without applying for anything, just coming into the country? Is it against the law or not? If it's against the law, have you committed a crime? If you've committed a crime, are you not a criminal? This is astounding. Here's the Stephen Miller part, just his part of that clip that a liberal activist named Jen Psaki on MSNBC believes is evil.
What has it done to our schools? What has it done to our hospitals? What has it done to just traffic in our cities? Every issue that affects our quality of life, Jesse, public safety, drugs, crime, education, healthcare, waiting in the emergency room, are all exacerbated, worsened, and undermined by mass illegal immigration.
Now, wait a minute. That's evil? Did you hear one word out of that man's mouth that was evil? Wow. 800-655-MIKE. These people on the left are so out to lunch, it blows my mind. How about you? Let's find out. We'll put your voice front and center here on this Wednesday episode of the Mike Gallagher Show. 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. Join us.
Mike Gallagher.
It didn't take long for an email. You call yourself a Christian. Hybrid Titan just wrote me an email. You call yourself a Christian, but yet you support sending immigrants to places like Alligator Alley. It's actually Alligator Alcatraz hybrid, not Alligator Alley. It's a concentration camp. And you support a rapist for president. Please tell me why. Tell me why. I'm nothing but oh, poor Hybrid Titan. But what kind of Christian are you to justify the illegality of sneaking into somebody's home? Do you let somebody sneak into your living room and camp out? As long as they're not a hardened criminal, just let them stay there? Golly. And it fascinates me how out of touch people like poor Hybrid and Jen Psaki and all of these people are in pretending that we don't have a crisis of illegal immigration. We do. The world knows we do. Have you heard what they're doing in Mexico? Americans are being targeted. Tourism is becoming a liability in Mexico. Residents are I cannot say this enough. I give you my word. I'm not making this up. Mexicans are taking to the streets angry that Americans are coming to Mexico and using up their resources. Mexicans are violently protesting Americans going to Mexico and using their healthcare resources, clogging the traffic, and refusing to assimilate. You cannot make this up. There's irony, and then there's irony. What began as a peaceful march, according to Fox News, took a turn when a group of people in masks began smashing storefronts, looting, and harassing foreigners. Protesters are objecting to the number of Americans living in Mexico. It jumped 70% from 2019 to 2022. College student says she's witnessed the transformation of her working class community. There are so many foreigners here. Rents are skyrocketing because of Airbnb. Other cities have had their own protests. Locals are gathering in Venice, Italy, and Portugal. They don't want us, but they sure want to come here. Now, don't you dare go to the emergency room in Guadalajara, because you'll be taking resources away from a resident there. But come on over to Greenville, South Carolina, and you camp out in the St. Francis waiting room. No problem. I mean, we are in upside down world. We really are.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.